You're listening to Dumb Down Life number 24.
You were too old for me, although there was some apprehension. The plan was to wait and see what God alone has brought together. Well, must be something. Well, it must be something. Much too old for me. All the shortness of breath and the missteps never, well, they never really fazed me. And all your old stories of war and depression were they were really something? Were they really something? Well, they must be something. Not long ago, but far away, you were the one. And virgins always son, where did she go wrong? You could call me what you want to. You know I try to take your name, wanna make it all better, but your past got in front of me. No, I didn't believe them when they told me all was a lie. And I'm not listening now when they try to sever their worms, make homes in your eyes when you're there. Because everybody needs someone they could pray to. Well, everybody needs the one thing that's untouchable. Oh, and I've got you. And if anything I know is true, you ain't going anywhere soon, going anywhere soon, going anywhere soon. You were too old for me, you know, and everyone was talking about you while their heads were turned, looking into each other's eyes through blood and film. No, I could not speak to you. Now every little thing you ever did wrong was washed all the way from the day I was born. And from the day I was born, well, it's just what I thought. Well, it's just what I thought. It's like ages ago, and time rages on, and on and on and on. Could've called you if I wanted, knew the number to your room. I thought it would be so much smarter to just stay in. Just stay in. Just stay in, just stay in. No, I didn't believe them when they told me you lost all your hair. And I'm not listening now when they swear in their free-flowing fish in the air. Because everybody needs someone they could pray to. I know I do, yeah. Everybody needs the one thing that's untouchable. Oh, and I've got you. And I don't give a damn if what they say is the truth, because everybody needs a little thing just like you. Oh, everybody needs someone they can pray to. Oh, everybody needs the one thing that's untouchable. Oh, and I've got you. And if anything I know is true, you ain't going anywhere soon, going anywhere soon, going anywhere
And that was Pascal with a song called You Were Too Old For Me. Okay, moving on now to a topic. These are a couple of stories that I discovered while perusing the web, as I do frequently. And this first one took me by surprise, and I found it quite amusing. This is about a man in a place called Lebanon in Pennsylvania who had to be rescued by fire crews when he got stuck in a porta potty. Now, what makes it even worse is the fact that this man was naked.
Not the story I thought it was going to be.
This man was naked in said porta potty. Apparently, according to authorities, the man had been drinking and taken off his clothes. Now, the worst part of this story is the fact that somehow he managed to immerse himself in the holding tank, which I assume is the part that you pee in.
Oh, good God.
Now, isn't that stuff normally filled with that, like, seriously strong blue Sanilab stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I thought. Unfortunately, there's no more detail, so I don't know if that's quite what they mean.
Came out looking like a Smurf.
Yeah, absolutely. Deputy Fire Commissioner Chris Miller said, "I've been on the job in one form or fashion for 21 years, and this is the first porta potty rescue I've ever had."
So did he run sound like it?
I thought on the job was a
choice
rather
of
choice word of words, yeah. But he's been charged with public drunkenness and creating a health code violation.
Oh dear.
But you'll be pleased to know he wasn't injured in the slightest.
Good God.
Okay, and this is sorry.
I can remember when I was in the Scouts, we used to have these porta potties on the campsites, and those things are vile.
Yeah, they are disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting.
They are. I mean, you go to a gig or anything like that and you have to use a porta potty. I mean, if you need to do anything more than pee, you have to learn the skills of, like, hovering 6 foot above the toilet bowl, because they're normally levels of toilet paper and other substances come 3 or 4 feet above the actual toilet bowl.
I don't know what kind of travelling you've done out in the States out there, Doug, but I had the misfortune of having to drive all the way across Iowa at one point, and we had to stop to use a toilet break, and we stopped at what looked like a porta potty, but it wasn't actually a porta potty. It was a porta potty sized shed with a huge pit dug underneath it. Yeah, so porta potty's probably a bit sort of deluxe compared to this thing.
I did stop in one town outside Virginia, and it was this real old town. I mean, it looked like it had kind of stopped in maybe the 20s or the 30s, and you had, like, guys in rocking chairs out front with dungarees on, cowboy hats and stuff. And there was a porta potty behind this store that I went round to use. And I have to be honest, I was terrified about the concept of using it. But as it turned out, it was actually quite clean and was okay as porta potties go. But thankfully, the porta potties had moved on from the 20s, apparently, if the town hadn't. Okay, this next story comes from a place called Lucknow in India, which is a cute name, if you ask me.
Hey, Lucknow.
Exactly. There's a new school called the Sardar Bhagat Singh College of Technology and Management, and it's in northern India. And apparently these guys were looking for a new chairman of this school, and they went through lots of candidates. They researched what the job required and who would be best for the job. And in the end, the person they picked was the revered Hindu monkey god, Hanuman. So the school in India now has a chairman who is a monkey god.
What do you say to that?
Exactly, it does leave you rather speechless, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not a big fan of religion at the best of times, but really, I mean, this takes the biscuit,
He
Well, that's religion and science crashing.
Okay, either of you speak, but not both of you at once, because I didn't hear a word of that.
You go, Darren.
I said he wasn't born as an egg on a mountain top, was he?
He could well have been, yeah.
Knew every magic that was under the sun.
So this is religion and technology really coming to a clash, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And they said, it's our belief that any job that has the blessings of Lord Hanuman is bound to be a success. I think I'm pronouncing that right, Hanuman. I hope so, because if not, I might be struck down in my sleep or something.
By monkey magic, yeah.
Well, they did have.
So how much does the guy get paid for that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the job comes with like an office and a laptop and health benefits and stuff like that. Quite how he's going to use those, I don't really know.
You know, it's great, but you can never get to see him. He's never bloody there. Omnipotent bollocks.
Well, you see, the handy thing is, I guess he's pretty helpful, being used in modern schools because he's one of the most popular gods in the crowded pantheon of Hindu deities, and his most famous feat, apparently, is described in the Hindu epic Ramayana, and was leading a monkey army to fight the demon king Ravana and rescue a kidnapped princess. Just what you need in your average high school these days.
That sounds like the next Nintendo DS game, doesn't it?
It could be.
Or Star Wars for primates.
What was his name?
Let's go into it.
Hanuman.
That's Han Solo, isn't it?
Anyway, those are my two stories, and I just thought they were a little nuts.
Do they have a bear god that could play Chewbacca?
Well, they probably do, because apparently they've got like hundreds of gods. They've got elephants and cows and I don't know, millipedes and I don't know. They've got lots of gods, so you never damn well know.
Do you know, it always struck me that with these religions that sort of have a god for just about everything, they're just hedging their bets, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like
At least Christianity has the balls to say we've got one god and that's it.
Yeah, although then again, some of the followers, I mean, just take agnostics, there may be a God, there may not be a God. I mean, how much more can you hedge your bets than that? I don't believe in God, but I'm not going to say there's not a God in case there is a God and I get whooped.
Because I'm going to feel really silly when I finally see those pearly gates. Like,
yeah.
Oh, shit, I was wrong.
But if all of these different gods in India have all got different jobs, then their public transport system must be interesting. Mind the gap. Millipede trying to jump across on the
We shouldn't laugh. I mean, you shouldn't mock other people's religions, but when they make the monkey the president of a school, you don't have any choice but to mock them. Really. They kind of ask for it, don't they? I mean, good Lord.
Market dug his stores and then dug them in the sand. 'Cause grown-ups don't believe in what they cannot understand. So I'm done now, pretending just for fun. I've run out of ideas now, and playtime never seems so slow. So grown-ups, won't you listen? If I were in your position, I'd have all your toes dug up to bring back those worlds you made. And together we all could play. And together we all Susie, she shook her head. I want more than dolls, she said. From now on I want the truth. So I'm done now, pretending just for fun. I've run out of ideas now, and playtime never seems so slow. So grown-ups, won't you listen? If I were in your position, I'd have all your toes dug up to bring back those worlds you made. And together we all could play. And together we all so much ambition. I'm sure you'll see someday, but for now, just let your wonder be your guide. Just let your wonder be your guide. Won't you listen? If I were in your position, I'd have all your toes to go to bring back those worlds you made. Together we all could play. Together we all or could stay, or could play.
All set? Let's go.
And now, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, the man you've been waiting for, the drum beater, the system cheater.
Do you like music, randomness and threes? If so, come and have a listen to the Random 3, which is an eclectic mix of music, a sort of musical car boot sale. Point your aggregator to www.stainlesssteelrat.net/feed.xml. You might find something you like. Cue abrupt ending.
Okay, that was Eric Boff with Young World and a promo for the Random 3. Which, have you listened to that at all, Darren?
I've listened to it. I think I've got a couple to catch up on, but yeah, I've been listening to it.
I'm not sure where the title comes from, because I don't find it random. He's got a theme that runs through show, doesn't he?
The first ones that he did were random, but then, yeah, he tends to end up with a theme on the more recent ones.
Hey, Lance, I noticed you didn't ask me if I'd listened to it.
You don't even listen to our show, so I know you don't listen to any of the others.
I'm quite offended by that. It's true, but I'm offended by it nonetheless.
Yeah. Anyway, who's heard of oh Christ, what's his name? Hugh Fernly-Whittingstall.
No.
Great. This topic's going to go well then. He's a TV chef, and he did a thing called River Cottage, where he set himself up in a cottage by the river. And lived
That's
self-sufficiently.
two things it could have been with cottaging, isn't it?
Sorry?
Is this
Only
the
one
guy?
of two things it could have been with cottaging.
Yes.
Is this the guy that's best buddies with Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah.
I know the chap. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, a few months ago, sort of a couple of months ago, I think it was, there was him, Gordon Ramsay, and Jamie Oliver. They did a whole sort of cooking season on Channel 4 that was to do with getting people to eat healthily or alternatively or, you know, that kind of thing. And he did this thing about chickens and how the supermarkets, they're selling chickens at like 40 pence a whole chicken. And how bad this is and how badly they were treated, the chickens, not the supermarkets. And he sort of showed how many chickens that they'd cram into these batteries, and that the chickens would never come out again until they were killed for the food, and this, that, and the other. And he's basically trying to get the supermarkets to raise the living conditions of these chickens. Now, he's put in a motion for the Tesco's AGM, annual general meeting, for this very subject. And because he's got it in, or Tesco are saying that he put the motion in after the cut-off date, and to get it through for it to be raised at the annual general meeting, they're going to have to get lawyers in and all this, that and the other to add it in. And the bill for it is £86,000.
Good God.
Good God.
Which Hugh Fernly-Whittingstall has got to find by Wednesday. Otherwise, they won't table his motion.
Oh, how convenient for them.
Well, yeah, that's the sort of the angle that Whittingstall's going for.
So what they're basically saying is they need a lawyer to get this piece of paper in to be read at the annual general meeting.
Essentially, yeah.
That sounds like tosh, doesn't it? Just change around item number 5 and 6 and slot it in there. I mean, how difficult can it be?
I think it was also like the printing cost of having the minutes, the agenda, reprinted for all the members there, so it was all on and it was above board and etc. etc. But surely the same as any other annual general meeting. I mean, I used to go to ones at the Scouts every year. There's always a thing at the end for any other business, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's standard fare for any meeting, let alone just
exactly.
I wouldn't have thought so.
AGMs.
No, not when you're talking about the size of these meetings. It's not a sort of thing. Right, now open it up to the floor. Anybody got any comments? No, not when you've got thousands of people involved. I doubt it very much.
Well, I mean, surely it must be an open forum, because otherwise it's not really a meeting, is it? It's we're going to tell you what's going on, you're going to eat dinner and go home. That's not really a meeting. A meeting is an open discussion.
Yeah, I think that's by the sounds of it. If they're talking about needing time to reprint all these hundreds of thousands of agendas and so forth, then it doesn't sound like a meeting. No, it does sound more like like the sort of thing that most big companies do. It's just an announcement, like you said. It's just telling everybody what's going on. Doesn't sound like it's a forum for discussion, really.
Which is not really an annual general meeting, then, is it?
It's a bit of a waste of money, really, as well. They could just print a crappy magazine like most companies do.
Yeah.
No, like I say, I just saw it and I thought that seems a staggering amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help thinking that's just an excuse not to have it in there so they can ignore the issue. Sorry,
because
Tesco's,
they don't want it brought up.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope we don't get sued by Tesco's for saying that, because we can't afford it.
Yeah, I really don't think Tesco's are going to worry about us.
Well, I don't know. Well, I suppose not. They don't worry about their chickens, do they?
We know it wouldn't. We would know it wouldn't be brought up at the annual general meeting about the podcast that's just been recorded, because we've missed the deadline anyway. So.
Yeah, and we don't have £86,000.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Surely this restaurant aficionado has got that in small change, hasn't he?
Well, you see, that's one of the other things that sort of made me think, because he's really passionate about this, and he does say that he's now trying to raise the money through his, he says, scanning down the page trying to find it, he is now trying to raise the money through his chickenout.tv website, holding an auction for prizes including a fishing trip and the chef cooking a meal at the winner's home. Now, I suspect, like you say, he's done quite a few TV series now. I wouldn't have thought he was short of a bob or two. And with being mates with Ramsey and what's the Cockney guy, Jamie Oliver, I would have thought between the three of them, £86,000 would have been very easy to come by.
But then again, this concept of people who are famous being rich is sometimes not as true as it sounds, is it?
Well,
just because you're famous doesn't necessarily mean you're rich.
Yeah, well, I mean, plus, even if you are rich, $86,000 is still a lot of money, or pounds is still a lot of money. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. £100,000 is a lot of damn money.
Well, yeah, I guess, but it depends how passionate you are about your supposedly passionate cause, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that I agree with. So what he's saying is, I'm passionate about this, but I'd like my fans to pay for it, please.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm all packed up now, early in the morning. I'll take my leave. I'll bring your words along with me. Maybe one day they will mean something. For now they buzz and crumble down a little bit too easily. From a time that I am not quite over. What the hell is wrong with me? I might be gone a little while. I guess we'll see. I gotta make a home out of somewhere, and you're all over this city. And it'll take a flight to figure out where I'm gonna finally land. And in the time it takes for me to get there, I'll be one to start again. But I should probably say that I'm unsure why I'm running away from the only thing I want. Yeah, I should probably say that I'm unsure why I'm running away from the one I love. And if the plane lifts off, I'll write you a letter to say goodbye. And I will make it long and maybe lie just a little, tell you that I'm doing fine. And then I'd send it out and let things be. If not for you, for me, and for the time I'd spend foolishly loving thee. But I should probably say that I'm unsure why I'm running away from the only thing I want. Yeah, I should probably say that I'm unsure why I'm running away from the one I love. The one I love.
And that was Greg Laswell, even with the one I love. I was
Greg
just
Laswell.
Yeah, Greg Laswell. I was just thinking, actually, Lance, while we listened to that song, your story before. I call my wife Chicken. I don't keep her locked up in a coop, though. I do let her out occasionally.
Is there a reason why you call her Chicken?
Yeah, actually, it comes from a trip we took to the mountains. I think it was one of the first times I was ever over here in North Carolina, and we took a trip up to the Maggie Valley, which is a Cherokee reservation up in the mountains here. And being an Englishman and not afraid of corners, of course, coming around these mountain roads, I was hollering this car around, just loving every second of it. My wife was terrified, and we decided to give each other Indian names. Now, I don't remember what she called me, but I decided to call her Little Squaw Chicken Curve, because she was terrified of just about every corner we went round. And it just kind of stuck, so from then on I've called her Chicken, and I still call her Chicken to this day.
Oh, and that's sweet.
That's a sweet story. Huh?
Hers probably questions the legitimacy of your parenthood.
Slow down, you bastard.
That was pretty much the. I mean, some of these corners are pretty frightening, and of course, you are up a mountain, so if you go off the road, there's a hell of a drop. But me being me, I'm like, oh, don't worry about it, I got it. If we crash, then well, you can tell me you were right and I was wrong.
This from the man that put a Ford Focus into a field.
Hey, it was a Fiat. If it had been a Ford Focus, it would have gone round the corner. Anyway, moving swiftly on. I got to thinking the other day, and I was actually thinking about my front teeth, and I'll tell you about this in a second, but I just got to thinking about some of the stupid things we do as children. And I think, I dare say between the three of us, this could take up an entire show. But the reason I was thinking about my teeth is because, for those of you that don't know, my two front teeth are false. And they're false thanks to my sister. And it comes from we were on holiday in a place called Briars Critch in Derbyshire, in England. And there's a river that runs down one of the mountain things. And the way it's brought down the run is by coming down these large concrete slabs, which, of course, they get wet, they get covered in algae and stuff like that, so they're really slippy. And being a kid, I kept shoving my sister. And I found it hysterical just to keep pushing her. And every time she got back up and stood up again, I'd just shove her again. And she got fed up with it and pushed me back, and I hit the slimy stuff. My feet and arms went up in the air, and I came down right on my face and knocked my two front teeth out. And unfortunately, they were my adult teeth, so I now have false teeth. But I don't know why I was thinking about my teeth the other day, but I was. And I just wonder what silly things you guys did when you were kids.
Well, can I just say that I know your sister?
Mm-hmm.
and you deserved everything you got, because like I say, I know your sister, and I'm pretty sure you don't push her anywhere.
I do. I'm a brother.
Not unless you want to smack in the mouth.
Which I pretty much got.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to think. No, as a kid, I was stuck in front of a computer for most of my childhood. Anything, Lance?
Yeah, quite a few. Well, I remember the first time. Well, I don't remember it, but the first time I got knocked unconscious. I went to a preschool because, believe it or not, I was hyperactive. Yes.
Yeah, we could stop it right there. That's funny enough for me.
Yeah, I was hyperactive as a kid, and so because of my mum's heart condition and whatever, she couldn't really cope with me all day. So I went to a preschool, and this school had a sandpit that it was like a bricked off square with sand in the middle and a big wall behind it, and it just sort of stood in the middle of the playground on its own. The other side of it had a basketball hoop or something or other. So I'm playing in the sandpit, and this kid walks up to me. They were having some building work done or something, because there were breeze blocks there. Like I say, I was only sort of 3, so memory is a little bit vague, but there were breeze blocks there. And essentially he said to me, "Move out the way, I want to throw this at the wall." To which I said, "You wouldn't dare." So I wake up in hospital. Having had a large number of stitches in my head.
It didn't affect you at all either, did it, growing up, Lance?
No, not at all, mate. No, never. That's the one that immediately springs to mind. I'm sure if given enough time I could think of another one.
So the kid that threw this breeze block at your head, has he poked you on Facebook yet?
Do you know, I wouldn't have a clue what his name was. I can't remember anything ever seeing him again. So whether he was pulled out of the preschool or what, I don't know.
So
You get this little message. You get this message come up on Facebook. I was the kid that threw the breeze block at your head.
Yeah, so basically in your life movie, in the credits, he'll be registered as Boy with Brick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember, talking about injuries and stuff like that, I remember one time, this wasn't actually an injury, this was a childhood prank that I personally thought would be really funny. I managed to get hold of those, remember those little red fake blood capsules you used to be able to buy from shops when you were a kid? Well, I managed to get hold of a load of those, and one day I thought it'd be a really funny idea to chew a whole bunch of them so that my mouth was full of this blood, go running in the house, screaming and shouting to where my mother was in the kitchen, and start spitting blood everywhere and screaming and shouting. Now, I mean, to me as a kid, this seemed like the perfect prank. I thought, this will be excellent, this will be great, she'll love it, she'll laugh, she'll go, "Oh, Doug, you're so funny." She didn't. She was pretty pissed off, actually, because now as an adult, looking back, I can see how that would scare the crap out of somebody, but as a kid, I didn't think it would. I thought it'd be really funny, but turns out it wasn't. I was wrong.
Oh, well, we must have got up to some pretty crazy shit when we were kids, Doug.
You'd think, wouldn't you? You know, and now you've said that, I'm like, geez. I think the daftest thing we ever did when we were kids was start talking in the back of that 7.5 tenner. Because we've been
pretty
friends ever
much downhill
since.
From there. Can you remember being chased by the farmer with shotguns on your bike?
Do I remember that?
Down at the lakes in Earthenborough, near go down to the big lake down at Pine Trees and turn right, and there were all those humps, and we were going up and down them on your motorbike.
That's right, yeah, because we went right up over the bridge, didn't we? And that
That's
farmer
it, yeah.
came out chasing us. I don't know what his
In the
fucking
Land
problem
Rover
was.
with a shotgun.
Yeah, the miserable bastard. We were only riding motorbikes over his crops. I mean, it's
And,
not like we were doing anything bad.
We come flying down this track, having lost him, and I could see you losing control, and I just stepped off the back of it. We weren't going that fast. Just stepped right off the back of it and left you to it as you went straight into a tree.
I tell you what, that wouldn't be the first time. I did that a lot. I gave up riding motorbikes after a while.
Remembered something?
Go on.
Go for it, Darren.
I've remembered my one thing. We used to have these remote control cars, electric remote control cars, and the thing was they would run for about 5 minutes, then you'd need to charge them up for about 15 minutes. But they didn't have mains chargers; they would charge off cigarette lighter plug in a car. Now we were 13, 14, so didn't have a car at the time, so we were in a car park. Playing with our cars, battery would go flat. We'd try the door handles on all the cars that were left in the car park, find one that was open, plug the charger into the cigarette lighter in the car and charge the batteries up. Fortunately, nobody ever came back to the car to find a small device that looks like a timer attached to a small stick of batteries that looks like Semtex. I think even back then, they'd have cried out IRA, and the car probably would have been controlled explosion.
Fantastic.
I can remember quite a few things that probably aren't broadcastable from when we were slightly older than kids, Doug.
Do you know, I remember slightly older kids, I remember being, 16, 17, and this was during our period where we'd been friends for a while, then we stopped being friends, and then we were friends again. Which we seem to do a lot,
as kids do.
Yeah, well, we do it a lot as adults as well, mate. So, but I used to knock around with a couple of guys called Lee and Stuart. And we were over in Earthlinborough one night because they'd come over to see me, and we'd managed to pick up some alcohol and get very, very drunk. The first thing we did was try and steal a car, which went terribly wrong because we tried running and pushing it down the road and ended up just crashing it into a wall before we'd even got it started. But we needed somewhere to crash for the night because we'd all told our parents we were staying at each other's house, as you do when you're that age. And we found, the block of flats that are now sat next to the Indian shop, Lance, as you come down from where you live. On the right-hand side. Yeah. Well, this was when they'd just about been finished, but they were still doing the interiors and stuff like that. So we managed to break into them, which involved Stuart and I were gently trying to break out the window next to the door, with little stones just to break it and open the door latch, and then we heard these running feet, and our friend Lee came flying past us full pelt into the door and damn nearly smashed it off its hinges. Miraculously enough, nobody woke up in the area, so we got in, and obviously we were going to kip there for the night, and we decided we needed something to keep us warm as we woke up with hangovers and stuff like that, and we found all this loft insulation stuff. Now, we didn't have the faintest idea that back then, I don't know if they still do, but back in those days it was made with fiberglass, basically. And we spent the night sleeping with these fiberglass blankets. I tell you what, you don't do that twice in your life.
Oh no.
Yeah, anyway, that's that story. That one just strikes me as funny when I remember it.
Oh dear.
Well, for the contacts, we have a new telephone number, Doug, which nobody's used yet, but it does work. The new telephone number is 07092 274 759. The email address, Lance,
is ddl.podshow@googlemail.com.
And the website address is...
It's www.dumbdownlife.com.
And this one show hasn't been live because normally we do it live on a Thursday night, but everything went a little bit wrong on Thursday, didn't it, Lance?
Oh, just ever so slightly, and it's still not working.
That's because I wasn't
so I'm
here.
recording this one. So we'll have to see how the quality sounds, because Lance had just about got the whole quality thing sorted out, and then went and deleted his entire setup.
Talk about stupid things we do as kids, Lance.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll explain what happened again, because I did explain on the live one, but of course that's sort of out there in the ether now. Nobody's ever going to hear it. Right, I've been having trouble with Windows Vista, which is not a surprise because, well, it's Windows Vista. And the problem I've been having is I can't get into Control Panel. Every time I double click on the Control Panel icon, Windows Explorer crashes. It just will not let me in, so I can't remove programs, I can't alter settings, can't do anything. So I did a little bit of Googling, and it turns out there's an application called Thunderbird, and that has I think it's a CPL or a CLP file, and that causes this crash issue. CPL files cause this crash issue with Vista and the control panel. So I thought, oh, there's no problem because Thunderbird's only the email client for Firefox, and I don't use it.
Sorry, isn't it Firebird?
Sorry, Firebird. That's it. Is the email client for Firefox. And I don't use it. I use Google Mail, so I don't use an actual email client, so I can uninstall it. No problem whatsoever. So I did that, and it solved my problem. I can now get into Control Panel. What it actually turns out to be, as I discovered on Thursday when I tried to fire up the Sam Broadcaster, Firebird is actually the background database that Sam uses to process all the music and stuff while you're playing. So Sam wouldn't start. So I re-downloaded the database service, installed it, got it running, and Sam came up absolutely fine, no problems, and thought, yep, we're back on. Halfway through the show, it crashed.
So you've broken something then, Lance?
Sorry?
You've broken something then?
I have, yeah. I think I've basically got to uninstall Sam and reinstall it because it comes with the Thunderbird database. I'm guessing there's some sort of relational thing that got removed and it's not working properly.
Whoops.
Yeah. So, word to the wise, don't do things that you don't know what you're doing.
Well, what we did do...
Surely if they're wise, they'd already know that.
Eh?
Surely if they're wise, they'd already know that.
Well, yes.
Yeah, the show was going to be like a podcast version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Lance had managed to get up to about £125,000. We will probably repeat this because the show was working quite well, but of course you will have to have a new set of questions now, Lance.
I will, yes.
Do we have copyright permission to do that?
No.
Do we need it?
Yes.
Do we?
Well, fuck 'em.
Technically,
I'm actually going to give you the money.
Yeah, technically, I guess we do because you're stealing the show format to broadcast. If we were playing it as a board game, I don't think it would matter because there is an official board game. Excuse me. If we're playing it as the board game and recording it. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. What are you asking me for?
I mean, I just need to know whether I need to get the board out when we're recording or not.
Yeah, we're not broadcasting it. We're just playing live on air.
Just playing it live on air. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for listening, everybody. This has been me, Darren.
Me, Doug.
And me, Lance.
And until next week, bye-bye.